What is up? Coming to you live from, not the cat house, the Tigerland, the jungle, the home of the tiger. We are 37 minutes later. Well, we're more like 7 or 15 minutes later than usual. We were having technical problems because it can't be the holidays without technical problems. That's what's been happening at my job. Oh, yes. Yes. Please contribute. Yes, young man. We have two people in the co-host seat over here. We have my lovely wife sitting across from me. Whoop. And then we have the ever loquacious Tiger Limon. Would you like to say something else for the microphone, young man? Of course. I'm sure he'll contribute when he wants to contribute. That's how this works, right, Ty? He let us have the big Are you gonna laugh? No. Well, he's contributing in other audio ways by tossing his spoon off the side. There he is. 'Twas the episode before Christmas and all through the house. Yes, Daniel, you made it at the start because I could not get the Facebook app to work on my phone for the last 45 minutes until I literally had to go through and close the Facebook app completely, and then it allowed me to access the podcast page so that I could actually broadcast on Facebook. I was going to try to broadcast on my computer, and I guess even the laptop version of Facebook doesn't allow you to broadcast. It was just, pure chaos. I was going to try to make my wife an admin of the podcast page so I could use her phone, and it wouldn't let me do that either. It was just like chaos, just pure chaos. It happens to me every day at work, and it happens here at home too. I mean, of course, we have a baby, so of course there's going to be chaos. How's everybody doing? I don't know if I should talk about the epicness that happened on The Mandalorian, because I'm sure, especially, our wonderful friend, I don't know, our friend Damon Lamb probably has not seen it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, because I thankfully did not have the epic thingamabob that happened at the end of The Mandalorian spoiled for me. I was very fortunate. I had my suspicions. Here, I'll say a non-spoiler thing. What I thought was going to happen, I thought that they were going to kill Mando. I really thought, I was terrified that they were going to kill the Mandalorian at some point. Damon's not here. Is it safe? He's not watching right now. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys can see who's watching live. I know I can't while I'm broadcasting. It's been 3 days. Continue. All right. I was terribly afraid that they're like, because there's a lot of rumors that yes, you want to say something? There's all those rumors that there's a lot of rumors that he was going to leave the show. Now Tiger wants to contribute. I have to teach you that when I go to you, that's when you speak. But you speaking is awesome anyway. Oh, dude, when he took off the helmet at the end, yes. You know what? It was weird. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't make tears come out. I was so emotional at the end of the episode, that tearful interaction between Mando and Grogu, the Baba Yoda, the child, so to speak. I was really moved, but it was funny. I was trying to make the tears come out. I'm like, I want to cry. After I saw an Instagram post of Kevin Smith, he in the morning, I was like, oh my god, I have to stay off social media. He did not spoil it, but he was like, he cried so hard. Kevin Smith did, and some dude made fun of him on Twitter, and he's like, you know what? Whatever, dude. Star Wars makes me cry. You know what? Good content should make you cry. It doesn't matter what the content is. It shouldn't matter if it's a Marvel movie, like I cried during Endgame, or if it's a Star Wars, or if it's just a regular old cartoon or anything. If it's moving content, then yes, you guys have full rights to cry. If something is so emotionally moving, if it pulls at your heartstrings, and you know what? That's what happened with this episode of The Mandalorian. My God, all right. Sorry, everyone. Spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, why haven't you? If you're a big fan, if you're a big nerd, how have you allowed this to happen? How have you gone 3.5 or technically 4 days. A couple of my coworkers, they watched it that morning. Thankfully, they're antisocial, so they didn't say anything to me. They didn't tell me about looks left, looks right. Luke frickin' Skywalker. I honestly, I don't know. That means yes. I had my suspicions. All right, so like let's go back because let's talk about some of the other episodes. Back when friggin' Jin took friggin' the Mando took friggin' Baby Yoda, Grogu, the child, back to took him to the Jedi planet, and he was summoning Jedi. Even Ahsoka said there's not many Jedi left, and so like back then I'm like, there's no way they could like have Luke show up in this. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, because I heard there's casting rumors that they were gonna get the guy Sebastian Stan who plays the Winter Soldier in all the Marvel movies. Because he kind of looks like a young Mark Hamill, so like, if they did that, that would be cool. I think people would think it was cool. But no, what we got was an even better version of what they did in Rogue One. Because obviously Disney, they have the technology, they have it because we've seen it in the Marvel movies where for the entirety of Captain Marvel they made Samuel Jackson look like he was 40 instead of like 70. Or like in the various Ant-Man movies they've shown Michael Douglas look young. They made Michelle Pfeiffer look young. They've rolled back the clock on people when they go backwards in time. They have the technology and it's getting better. Somehow they're avoiding the uncanny valley. So yeah, we got freaking as Jai half spoiled on Facebook, like father, like sons. Like at the end of Rogue One, they had that epic scene of Darth Vader just cutting down rebels, and so you got to see freaking Luke just cut down. Yeah, he did, buddy. He cut down all those Dark Troopers because there's so much advancement since Tron. Yeah, the Tron Legacy where the dude looked so awkward. The CG dude looked so weird, and like, oh, the CG Jeff Bridges. Yikes. Yeah, and that was like 9 years ago. So they're getting there. But I do agree with you, James. I think my first reaction was like when Luke took off the hood, I was like, ooh, creepy.
I didn't like Kurt Russell.
Huh?
I didn't like his Kurt Russell.
What in the Tron movie? Like kind of like weird. He looked so plastic.
No,
Or what? Another movie?
Wasn't it Kurt Russell? Was he the father of?
Jeff Bridges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one else had corrected me. It was Jeff Bridges. It was the dude. The dude.
Kurt Russell, the father of Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. Oh yeah, that's right. No, that's right. That was Kurt Russell. Yeah. It looked weird. He looked plasticky. That wasn't that long ago. That was like within the timeline of the podcast within the last 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Luke, it was like at first it kind of creeped me out. I'm like, whoa, they made him look like a little bit after Return of the Jedi. But it was cool because it was his voice. And yeah, the lips kind of didn't match with the dialogue. But you know what? I can't quibble too hard. But that whole scene where like you see the green light, I was like, you see an X-wing fly in. I was like, no way. I'm like, could it be Luke? And then you see the dark hooded Jedi come out. I see the green lightsaber. I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna do this? And I see the black hand on the lightsaber. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be. It is. It totally is. Nobody else could freaking rip through all these dark troopers, and he was just like being so badass and just chopping them down and just crushing that last one. Just epic. Just what I found most curious about this, and that's the scene. The scene was amazing. It was such a great payoff. It didn't seem like forced or it didn't seem it wasn't some sort of a. I'm trying to find some other like plot equivalent of a cash grab. It wasn't just like, oh, we're doing a cool thing for the sake of a cool thing. Like they did set this up. They built towards this, realistically. I'm like, who else in the galaxy was gonna sense a powerful? Like, yeah, he's just with the black and white video feed. I know. And black hand, green lightsaber. It's like it's gonna be him. And then you get like CG voiced Mark Hamill. It's like, holy crap. they like I sat there with my like, they did it. The son of a bitches did it. And I think the biggest thing is like they this one episode of The Mandalorian, like, it unified all these fans that had been fractured because of everything that's happened in with Disney Star Wars the last, however many years. Oh, Damon's here. Damon, have you watched The Mandalorian? Please tell me you've seen The Mandalorian. Damon, please. I know I'm on a 30-second delay. I need to know before I continue. Star Wars doesn't need saving. I know, yeah. Well, no, you see, Andy, I'm glad you showed up too. All right, yes, you have. All right, awesome. No, it's just I think one of the things I've seen is like this is one of the things that's unified everyone who, like, all the people who hated Star Wars since, do I think it's unified everyone? Do you think it happened? Oh, Ryan asked an awesome question. Do I think it would have the same effect if they used Sebastian Stan? No, if we didn't have the technology, I think it would have been fine. I think people, I that might have been something that might have caused like some really picky nerds to lose their mind. Like, that's not my Luke Skywalker. That's some other guy playing Luke Skywalker. Right? People were fine with freaking They were fine with Rosario Dawson instead of actually Eckstein playing Ahsoka Tano, because all right, cool, it looked like Ahsoka Tano. Where I think, yeah, if they used Sebastian Stan, I think it would have been, like, for me, it would have been okay. But I think a lot of, like, the really hardcore-ish, crazy Star Wars nerds would have lost their minds if it had been Sebastian Stan with a Luke Hamill haircut, with the bowl cut, so to speak. But the fact that they used Mark Hamill's voice and they did the CG, I think it weirdly unified everyone. But what I didn't like was, like, there was a lot of people jumping on social media to take a healthy shit on The Last Jedi. Because, like, you see, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, these are the same people who've been hating Disney Star Wars for the last 4 or 5 years, but suddenly, oh, it's okay now because they did something that everyone wanted. They brought back Luke and they made him badass Luke instead of grumpy old Jedi Luke, which I don't know. I think I'm in the minority. I really enjoyed grumpy old Jedi Luke. I thought that was hilarious. I think maybe it's just that I like that cynical kind of stuff. I listen to Mark Maron's WTF all the time. I love the fact that, old Luke was like, I saved the galaxy and it's still the same. Ugh. Nothing changes. I felt that was a very very modern Luke. But I guess there's a good fraction of people who wanted happy, idealistic, no, Father! No! I will save you, Father! They wanted that. They wanted the Luke that they grew up on. But somehow, Jon Favreau and noted prequel lover Dave Filoni, they figured it out. They figured out something that was not going to piss. I think that's the greatest achievement of not just this episode of The Mandalorian, but the entire series. It has somehow managed to not piss a bunch of these religious zealots off. If you've been around the podcast, yeah, it's because we're old grumpy. Yeah, I think, yeah, James. You know what? I think people just didn't want the. They didn't want the mirror shown in their faces. I'm like, guess what? You're old too. Luke got old with you. And I think that's what a lot of the people who were mad at The Last Jedi and mad at that whole thing. Yeah, see, right, same. When Luke took the lightsaber and just chucked it off the side, full belly laugh. Like that. That's like, it's weird. It's like I always want weird things to happen when I'm watching stuff. I'll be watching stuff, I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if he tossed it. And like, I was sitting there watching The Last Jedi, I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if he just tossed it. And he tossed it. I was like, wait, what's happening? Why am I getting what I want? This is weird. Rian Johnson, you madman. Let me put on my seatbelt. I don't know what's going to happen in this movie. I remember walking out of The Last Jedi. I'm like, dude, this was really different and cool. And a lot of people are like, no, I don't want different and cool. I want the same. It's like, they didn't like that the Force Awakens was playing all the greatest hits. They didn't like that The Last Jedi was trying to change things. They didn't like The Rise of Skywalker because, it was just ham-handed and they're just trying to make everybody happy. It's like, I sat here a year ago and said, well, I guess there's no way to make everyone happy, and I'm wrong. There is a way to make everyone happy. Do an awesome TV show, apparently. Yeah, where you can flesh out everything across like 6-7 hours, where you can actually tell a long narrative with a really good show. Isn't that right, Ty? Yeah, well, you agree with me? Oh, I would hope so. I would hope you agree with me, little man. And I think that's the advantage that this show has over a movie. In a movie, you only got like 2.5 hours, maybe 3, if you're really pushing everyone's bladders to try to get a narrative across. And I think that's why it was very jarring to go J.J. Abrams to Rian Johnson. It was supposed to be that dude from Jurassic World, but no, he had to bail, so they brought back J.J. Abrams. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Andy, you encapsulated that the grumpy Star Wars fan right there. Oh, too old. Oh, too different. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, where apparently the Mandalorian is the porridge that is just right. Yeah, exactly. Episodic nature. Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't share a tear when he took off his helmet, you're not human. I was like, I wanted to shed a tear. I was just like, oh my God, because I don't know if it's the same for the rest of you who are fathers, but every time I see Grogu, Baby Yoda, the child, all I see is my man over here, my little dude, and I'm just like, oh, like my heart. So I feel like I feel like I'm watching The Mandalorian with like this humongous bias. Because I don't see Baby Yoda. I see Baby Tiger. The entire time I'm watching. Like, me and my wife, we're constantly like, no, Ty, no. We're like at the screen whenever Baby Yoda was doing something ridiculous. We're like, no, Ty. We're imagining that that's our child on the screen being a child. And so I felt like my experience was very like odd and different than everyone else. Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for reminding me. Hey, just in case you hadn't climaxed at the scene, Luke Skywalker cut through a bunch of R2-D2 just rolls right in. And go beep boop boop. And then maybe wait, kid, your kid steals cookies? Oh, as soon as my son knows how delicious a cookie is, he's gonna steal all the cookies. Oh no, he laughs at Cookie Monster, so he knows. He knows. We sing C is for cookie all the time, and he smiles. C is for a cookie. That's good enough for me. Okay, now he's just staring at me because, there's a smile. There's a smile. Yeah, Ty will steal a cookie as soon as Ty is able to. I stole cookies as a child from the cookie jar. He's gonna steal cookies from the cookie jar. I know this. I will leave the cookie jar there for him to take as many cookies as he can possibly stand, which will probably be all of them. Yeah, wife set up her phone so Ty can see the screen. He can watch me live, or he can watch me straight forward on the screen.
That's producer.
Yeah, mom's being an awesome producer right now. So yeah, it's just overall like this entire season of that. It's weird. I wasn't sure. Yeah, like even going into the second season, I'm like, there's no way they can top that first season. That first season was great. Like it's amazing. There's no way they can do better. And they did. Right, 2023, Rogue Squadron. It's this whole season, I want to go sit down and rewatch the entire series all over again so I can just be a blubbering mess of emotions. I don't know if I'll have to watch it 15 minutes at a time during my lunch at work. But, ooh, yeah. And then, let's not forget what they give you the quiet credit. They don't give you the cat bobbing head credits like you normally do with all the awesome art pieces. They give you really quiet credits, which is lulls you into a sense of sadness, and all of a sudden you get overweight Bib Fortuna sitting on Jabba's throne. I'm like, wait, what's about to happen? And then Boba Fett and freaking Agent, I forget what her Star Wars character name is, but freaking Mulan and freaking Boba Fett roll through and just destroy kill everybody, and freaking Boba Fett takes over the freaking Jabba's old throne. And like, what the fuck, the Book of Fett? And I guess Jon Favreau went on Good Morning America, I guess this morning, And he explained, Fennec, thank you, Damon. Fennec Shard, I believe. Yeah, that's all. I just need that jar in my memory. Yeah. I guess you gain weight to replace a hut. Boba Fett's already there, according to some people. Poor guy, everyone's fat shaming poor Boba Fett. If I was stuck on Tatooine, eating nothing but banthas, I think I'd gain a little weight too. But yeah, apparently Jon Favreau explained, they're gonna film both Mando and the Book of Fett, and they're gonna release both at the end of 2021. Like, what have we done to Boba Hutt? What have we done to receive this bounty? Like, we're gonna get both Mandalorian season 3 and a season of the Book of Fett. I don't know. I mean, this is great. I think just they want to make sure that they grow this 94 million subscribers that they have currently. They achieved Disney Plus, like I said last week. Have you had a roasted Ronto wrap? I bet that's why Fett is so thick. I didn't have a chance to try a Ronto wrap when I visited the Galaxy's Edge. Should Disneyland ever open again, and we take out a second mortgage and go to Disneyland, I'll have to make sure I give that a taste of when we go to the Galaxy's Edge sometime in the future. But we're getting a Boba Fett show, and I thought, I honestly thought he was gonna be Boba Fett was gonna be an accessory to the show, but no, he's just gonna go off and have his own show. Ahsoka's getting her own show. Boba Fett's getting his own show. This is we're splitting off, and I saw a really crazy conspiracy theory that one of the Imperial officers is an undercover agent from Rebels, and I was like, sure, I wouldn't put it past Dave Filoni to keep sneaking in stuff from his animated show. I need to go sit down and watch Rebels. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe me and the wife will watch that on Friday nights. We'll watch some Rebels and try to watch all that to kind of fill the void, the Mandalorian shaped void in our hearts for the next 12 months. The Grogu Baby Yoda shaped void. There is nothing that can fill that void. There's just the only thing that can fill that void is our little baby, our little child. Thankfully, he can't use the Force to take my glasses off my head. He uses his own baby Force to take it off. He snatches them off my head. I could have sworn he's gonna scratch my eye. This kid, he got the quickest hands in the galaxy here. This young man. But, dude, just it's amazing the state of Star Wars right now. We're gonna get all this other stuff. Yeah, Rebels is amazing. Yeah, Rebels is amazing. No, but I've caught random episodes here and there. I think I caught this. I didn't have Disney XD for a long time. That's why I didn't watch it. And then the way the Disney XD app worked, it didn't have the full seasons. It would have random episodes. It was incredibly frustrating. So I watched a bunch of random episodes out of order. I saw poor freaking Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn get freaking thrown into hyperspace by freaking... thank you, Ryan, for bringing that up. Yes, Din Djarin, he could rule Mandalore right now if he chose to, because you had freaking Gideon, Moff Gideon, being a jerk about it. Like, he beat me for it. You can't just hand it open. Man, freaking Gus Fring. Man, Giancarlo Esposito is a great villainous actor. That dude is just pure evil in anything he does. He's just insane. Just drove me crazy when he was being such a dick the entire episode. Oh, you're on season 2 of the Clone Wars? Okay, yeah, keep pushing through, damn it. I don't know if it's gotten really good yet. That first season is a bit rough. It's very kid focused, and then like I told you before, at some point they say, all right, screw it, we're going with continuity now. We're going into deep Star Wars continuity. Here's a bunch of Sith stuff. Here's a bunch of Mandalorian stuff. There's a bunch of awesome. Yeah, Moff Gideon was Colby. Yeah, that I love his character because he was very calculating. He plays that calculating villain so well. So it was nice for him. He was a real jerk about the Darksaber the entire time. So I feel like that's going to probably be like, so with Grogu off with Luke, I think the big plot point of season 3 is going to be like, oh, I don't want to rule Mandalore. I can't just hand it to you. He wanted to. I yield. Here you go. I don't want to fight. Here you go. It doesn't work that way. I saw a great meme earlier today where it showed Bo-Katan. It's like, oh, you can take off your helmet. Tradition doesn't mean anything. And like, oh, Darksaber rules. You must follow them. It's like, oh, which button do I press? It was that meme. It was like, oh, the guy who can't decide to press a button. It's like, oh, not follow the rules or follow the rules. Oh! I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, because we don't follow those ancient rules if you can't take your helmet off. Yeah, I'm not mad at Giancarlo. That's him in Breaking Bad and The Boys. Ooh, I didn't know he was in The Boys. Oh, that's another. Oh, maybe that's what we'll watch on Friday nights. We got that show I showed you on Amazon, that creepy superhero crazy one. Maybe we can watch that after Tiger goes to sleep. Oh, well, we gotta finish. Oh, we gotta finish What We Do in the Shadows. That takes priority. So we got same. Yeah. Giancarlo. That's what he does. He plays evil. I didn't know he's in The Boys. Ooh, I'm excited. That was a hilarious meme. It's like Bo-Katan. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? And then, side note for my wrestling fans, seeing Sasha Banks execute a tornado DDT was pretty hilarious. I was quite delighted. No, I haven't seen The Boys. I have Amazon Prime. Yeah, Ty. No, I haven't seen The Boys. I was never a fan of the comic book. The book was just like, oh, it's one of my favorite writers and one of my favorite artists, and I tried reading it, and I was like, nah, I can't get into this. I'm like, oh, there's something about it. I was like, I couldn't get into the comic book. My good buddy Sean Hornbuckle was a big fan of that comic. I mean, I love the writer Garth Ennis. Like he wrote one of my favorite comic books ever, Preacher. But for whatever reason, I couldn't get into The Boys. But then the show, I watched the first episode, and I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'm sure it's gonna get very, very messy and very amoral and very, very horrifying. I mean, that first episode, like, it's funny. I watched it without my wife, and I explained the first episode. I was like, oh, I don't know if you're gonna want to watch this. It's really violent, and then I explained a couple things that happened. She's like, what? I want to watch this. I'm like, wait, what do you mean what happened? Wait, such and such happened? Oh, I want to see this. I want to go to there. She turned to Liz Lemon. She's like, I want to go to there right now. I'm like, oh, all right. I'll watch the first episode again. Let's watch it, and then we'll just keep watching the show. See, Daniel, you went to the first episode and then never went back for more. It's like, yeah, it's just like it's incredibly, it's very jarring. It's a jarring show. I feel like like I said, the book was not for everyone, and I feel like the show is not for everyone. But my interest is piqued. We will get to it when we can get to it. But we got to go finish What We Do in the Shadows first. The other night we had a little bit of time. Like, oh, what are we gonna do? All right, let's watch What We Do in the Shadows. I mean, was that Saturday night that we watched it, or? Right, because we had wanted to watch a movie, and we're like, oh, it's too late to watch a movie. Let's just fire up Hulu and see some vampires being dumb. If you guys haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, that is one I recommend wholeheartedly. We'll go watch the film first if you can find it. I think it's on Prime, and then go find the FX show. It's we were having to stifle. We had to stifle our laughter to not wake up Tiger. We can only watch TV when Tiger's asleep, and then we run it through the PS4 headphones, and like I get one earbud and the wife gets the other earbud. That way everything is like nice and quiet. Keep him from waking up. Yes, we're talking about you, young man. But now I go to you and you don't. Oh, there you go. There he is. You getting tired, big man?
Well,
I think somebody's tired. I think someone sounded we've sounded the tiger alarm. He's tapping out. Who's my favorite vampire? I mean, if we're talking about the movie and the show, or if it's just the show, I like laughing at Laszlo. Oh, you like Najda? I feel like she's like the only competent adult of the four of them. Laszlo makes me laugh. Bat. Like he has to say it every time. He's like bat. But the psychic vampire Colin, he's just like.
I hate him.
It's like I don't like him, but I am incredibly amused by him. Every like the early in the first season where like he runs the other psychic vampire, and they're just like both like draining that office.
The girl from SNL, right?
Yeah. It was what, Vanessa Bayer? Energy vampire.
So good. That was such a good episode.
It was so funny.
Such a good energy vampire.
And then like he's their roommate, but he's such a dick to them. He's like all you Nightwalkers must suck. You look at the sun, and you just turn into dust. It's so awkward. It's like I hate him, but I'm amused by him. I can't stand. I wouldn't want to be around him, but I can watch him be a jerk to other people.
He's like Costanza.
He is. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've seen that actor somewhere, but I can never place him in anything else. He's just like so perfectly awkward and terrible. And then it's like what's his face? The main one. It's weird. I'm whatever their leader. Like I don't know. I don't laugh as much with him because I'm just like, oh, you're so annoying. Sorry, my son is like slapping at the water cooler here.
No, don't worry, honey. That's what the security thing is for.
I know that has a security thing, but he's not dumb.
He's not gonna get past the security.
Well, at least I know he was in Better Call Saul. That's right. He was the crappy dude in that freaking hired Mike. Thank you so much, Ryan. Oh my God, you just completely unlocked where I've seen him before. He was super annoying. That he was the freaking pharmaceutical dude. Oh my God. See, he's that kind of guy and face that you like. I've seen him somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it. And thank you, Ryan. This is why you're a top fan and a patron of the podcast here. I need you guys to be my backup memory as my brain falls apart after I have worked 24 straight days. How many days has it been since Black Friday? I've worked that many days.
Yeah.
I am slowly losing my mind, but I know my wife's been losing her mind too because I'm working every day. I mean, she has extra tiger shifts. I have extra work shifts. She has extra tiger shifts. It's like, come the 24th, like, yay! I can get days off again. Oh, there's something awesome I need to post on Instagram. I've been lazy about posting it. I got a really horrible thing that we sold that I have to post up. You guys are you're either gonna love it or be annoyed by it. But maybe I'll post it after the show, or I'll have to post it first thing tomorrow morning. There's something I can't believe. We sold 2 of these. I'll tease you with that. It'll be up on Instagram later tonight or tomorrow morning. This thing that we sold. You have to see it to believe it. We have like 50 or 100 of them, and we've sold 2 in the last 3. Like, we normally don't sell them, but you'll see. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. I just want to blurt it out. I'm like, it's something horrible. It's at least Unicorn Princess is something useful. That's what you gain for Christmas, honey. You're getting Unicorn Princess.
Oh boy.
Right. I'll get you that. And I'll get you My Little Riding Champion. That's where you're a young lady on an equestrian horse. And then Fantasy Friends, some of our best-selling Switch games, and then Race with Ryan from Ryan's Toy Review. Although I think one of our best-selling games during this holiday was Naruto Ninja Storm 4. It's like out of nowhere, we've sold like 2,000 copies of Naruto Ninja Storm. You're good. You're good. Oh! I have to cover the baby. Yeah, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. And then the season pass version with Road to Boruto. Both of those have been like one of our best-selling games. I think our best-selling game has either been Just Dance 19 or or what do you call it, Rocket League Ultimate Edition for PS4. Ironically, a game you can go get for free. I guess people are buying this Ultimate Edition so I can get the Batmobile as part of the DLC. I mean, you can go play Rocket League for free. It's free to play, pay for skins. But I guess people want to pay $40 to get the Bat. Maybe the Batmobile is not available anymore. And there's Tiger, everyone. Sometimes he's not in the mood for a diaper change. Yeah, it's really wild to me. We have these Rocket League. I remember because we were still sitting on 20 or 30,000 copies of Rocket League across all three systems, and then it was announced, oh, Rocket League going free to play. I'm like, boss, what are we gonna do? This game's going free to play. It's like, oh man, all these dumb digital people are just gonna get the free digital copy and not buy the physical. And I'm like, nope. You know what? The people did not let me down. The people wanted physical copies. We were sold out of the collector's edition for PS4. We're gonna sell out of the Ultimate for PS4. We're running out of collector's edition for Xbox One. We're running low on Ultimate for Xbox One, and then we have a shitload for Switch, and that's still selling like crazy. I think that's the one we had the most of, and we were still selling it. Although I think Ultimate Edition might run out. I don't know about collectors. But this Rocket League is a free-to-play game. We're selling it like crazy. People paid $40 for either in the collector's edition you get the Flash cars, and then the Ultimate Edition you have there's several Batmobiles. I literally think that's the draw, or people just want physical D. Yeah, downloaded Rocket League the other night. There you go. Yeah, people want the DLC. I'm guessing it's not available for purchase. That's the only theory my boss had as to why we were doing so well. We sell just literally retail only, and anywhere from 200 to 300 copies of Rocket League a day. I think peak it was we were moving almost 1,000 Rocket Leagues across all three, 6 versions across 3 systems, and we just burned through it. My boss was laughing. We started with what 60,000 copies of Rocket League, and now we're almost out. It's gone. People want it. The video game industry is so weird. One of my good friends was texting me today. He got our Christmas card. And I was telling him about the job. And oh yeah, it's crazy what I'm learning about the video game industry behind the scenes. It's madness right now. I don't know if I mentioned a few weeks ago. I guess last year PS2. Last year, if you were a business who was good in with any of these companies, with Sony or Microsoft or whoever, for example, a lot of the third parties, if you were good with Ubisoft or good with EA or Sega, you could still get PS2 games printed. If you were, obviously you can't just order 12. You had to order 1,000, or in some cases 12,000. You could still, up until last summer, PS2 games were still printable. If they, see ya, Andy. You could still get them printed. So my boss is getting a lot of games that were going to go out of print because they were going to stop printing. Now apparently this year, now it's Wii and 360 is going out of print. They're going to stop printing physical copies of 360 games, which is ironic because this new Xbox One is still going to play all those games, or the Xbox One X, whatever, Series X, Xbox 1, 2, 3, XYZ. I was making a joke because I was noticing a lot of the new Xbox One games on the back. It says will work on Xbox One and newer systems with an optical drive. I was like, oh, that's the forward compatibility, because no one ever calls it forward. It's always backwards. It's backwards compatible because it's compatible with old games, but it's technically forward compatibility. These old discs work to the future. Yeah, Sony committed to continuing support for PS4. Yeah, but it's just weird. All these because right now my boss is contacting every publisher. Yo, what 360 games will you let me print? What will you let me print? He contacted the exclusive person who has a bunch of Valve stuff. So we're getting in 12,000 copies of Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. I was like, what? Holy shit! Good job, boss. And what's insane is people will sell it. We're gonna sell it because we're usually how do I put it? or we're the last destination for a lot of people, like when it comes to games. Like for a lot of times we'll be the last ones that'll have a game. Like we got this seasonal employee. He's like, oh man, I bought a pocket fighter from you from your company like a few years ago. I'm like, yeah, we're the only ones who have it. There's still a pallet. There's maybe like 400, 500 left. PlayStation 1. They're all legit. I mean, they're all printed. Capcom let my boss do a print run of like, I don't know how many thousands a few years ago, or probably more than a few years ago. And it's like, oh yeah, we still got them. Brand new, sealed, all legit. It's mind-blowing. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we still got them. Bunch of nice sealed 12 packs, and you see on the side, boom, Capcom. Same thing for all these other games. It's really, this job has really ruined my perception of video games now. It's like today, I had to count, 12,000 copies of Rayman Origins. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Just 3 pallets, all right, let's count that up. Doing some 3D Picross. I'm like, all right, there's a box there, all right. I'm like, all right, it's 16 times 8, all right, that's times 30. Okay, let me do all this math. It's really wild, the stuff I get to see sometimes. My boss, he specializes in like being, like I said, he's special. Like if he finds someone has the last of them, like, how much? I'll buy it all, and we'll just sit on it until people need it. Like all of a sudden, people have a run for it. I was trying to remember what was the weird game that suddenly we just ran out of. Like, oh, people suddenly wanted such and such games. Like, oh, now we're moving it, and like no, whoever else has it. Like I was joking with my boss. I'm like, hey, we didn't sell a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS3 or for Xbox 360 at all this holiday. He's like, yeah, other people had it, so other people were like clearing them out for $10, so we're kind of fucked until they run out. I'm like, huh, that's insane. It's like we just have to, I guess we're gonna have to sit on these, 30,000 copies of GTA 5 for PS3, and I'm sure you guys are like, who would want to buy a game for PlayStation 3, especially like, GTA 5? I tell you, when all those other people blow out their copies, we were gonna move that shit. we burned through freaking 40,000 before, and then like, boss calls up Take-Two to, yo, I need another printing. And apparently everyone else who distributes games, because we're not the only one. There's other distributors in the world, but my boss goes, oh yeah, if you can get me 50K, that'd be cool. And then roll these 10 pallets. Like, boss, what are you doing? Like, I'll sell. And they do. In 10 more years, next pandemic. I mean, realistically. I was totally, it was on this time last year, we got in like 15,000 copies of Just Dance 2019 for the Nintendo Wii. I'm like, boss, what are you doing? It's like, I'm not in charge. My boss, he's in charge. He knows what he's doing. I'm the one who has to. I'm asking all these questions because I'm trying to learn. I'm like, the method to this madness. I'm like, there's like 12 or 15,000 copies of Just Dance 2019 for the Wii. I was like, what the hell, boss? He's like, oh, all right. I made Ubisoft a ridiculous offer and they took it. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. And over the course of the last year, we have moved like almost all of it. It's like, yeah, today, like, I think one person bought like, all these people were priority mailing friggin' a bunch of copies of Just Dance Wii, hoping they get it in time for Christmas. Sorry, it's not going to show up because the Postal Service is in terrible shambles right now. And it's just wild to me where I just see like this stuff because like, I'm in charge of several things at the warehouse, and one of the things that the boss has me in charge of is finding space for more of the shit he brings in. So yeah, I got my forklift license, so I can make the moves. So I can run my sitting forklift and my standing forklift, and it's just like today, like at the end of the day, like, oh, let's go walk through the warehouse. We got to figure out, we got 50 pallets coming in next week. And I was like, but we just barely made room for 20. I got to find 30 more spots. It's like I guess it's insane. The stuff that I see now, it's like another joke I always make. I'm like, I have learned more about the video game industry in 2 years at this warehouse than I did in 7 years at Nintendo. 7 years at Nintendo, I just walked around and was like, all right, I'm going to Target, going to Walmart, being Dr. House to these freaking people. Like, oh, hey, dumbasses at the Orville and Best Buy. Hey, Mr. Rep, the nunchuck doesn't work on the Wii display. I'm like, oh, it doesn't work? Oh, I can tell you without touching it. I know what's wrong. What's wrong, Mr. Nintendo Rep? You have to hit the button here that says Connect Accessory. Boop. I tap it. Hey, look at that. Nunchuck works now. Ha! You see, if you had looked on the sign on the right that says press Connect Accessory button to make Nunchuck work, your problem would have been solved way before I walked in. I was the Dr. House of Nintendo Reps. I was very proud of that. So many times I was just dunking. It's sad too, because it's like most of the time I was like dunking on Best Buy employees. These are the people who should know their shit, but they did not know their shit at all. They're dumb. It's dumb. And I just have to dunk on them all the time. So much when I was a Nintendo rep. I was just like, so much freaking just wrecking these poor, dumb employees. And like, I'm sorry, you just don't know. Montclair Best Buy. Oh, your DSi displays don't work. You don't even have to bring them out. I can already tell you why they don't work. It's because those are video-only displays. You can bring them out now. They work perfectly fine. They're just supposed to play video. You're not supposed to be able to play them. It says on the display, for this video display only. Oh. Montclair Best Buy. Thankfully, James, back when you may or may not have worked at one of those blue shirt places, I could always rely on you to not be dumb. It was very happy. I was always pleased that you were a competent person at your particular Best Buy, because we'd have to bring the Japanese visitors to your Best Buy, the one you may or may not have worked at. We had to take them there and show them around. I remember one of the years we took them there when you guys had all the games in the shark cages in the corner. And these poor Japanese Nintendo executives are like, why is everything locked up in jail? I wish I had been there, because I would have been like, oh, it's because there's nothing but felons that shop here that try to steal them. That's why the games are in jail. Because of the people who belong in jail. I'm sure whoever was there, the real polite, positive representative who was with them, was like, oh, no, that's we have to worry about shoplifting here in America. That's why all the games are trapped behind glass cases or in clamshells. Oh, that's right. You had the projector in the corner. That was like, it was freaking awesome. Yeah, that particular Best Buy. I think it was like 101, because 131 was Montclair. Dumb Nintendo rep stuff. I'm like, I used to know all the store numbers to all the stores because I had to know. It's like 105 or 101 or something for that particular store, the Burbank area, that you may or may not have worked at. Oh, Best Buy. It's so sad, I think, walking through a Best Buy now, if you want to buy video games, it's such a sad, depressing experience now, because they have hardly anything now. It's just, you got to go online for everything. That's why our company does so well, because we're just doing everything via e-commerce. They're like, all right, cool, we'll just do free shipping. Oh, you need the game? Hey, here's a game that you haven't seen in like 10 years. It still exists. We have them. You want that cool PS2 JRPG? My boss bought them all. You need some Shin Megami Tensei? You need some Persona 2? You need some Persona 3? Persona 4? You need some Shin Megami Nocturne? You know where to call? Go give Dre a call. We can get you all those rare. You need some Yakuza 1s or Yakuza 2s for PS2? We got that shit, dog. We cool with Sega. Sega's our dog, yo. We got all the Yakuza games. You need some Yakuza? We got it. You want the big Yakuza box with the 4 shot glasses? We have it. We got you, homie. I don't think that one has free shipping because it's a big ass box. There's some crazy people in like Amazon UK who keep buying those. You need to know if there's a physical copy of Hades. Yeah, good luck with that, bro. that we don't have, unless limited run. makes a physical copy, then we might get it later because we're cool with them too. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I think that's supposed to be a secret. That we cool with the people who make limited run games. We're cool with them, we know them. They're nice to us. They let us buy more than one. Yeah, we're cool. Ironically, it was like my boss was telling me, like, he told me all the stories that people were not cool with. Oh, here's a story I probably shouldn't say because he wanted to tell this. He wanted to create an anonymous Twitter account of stupid shit game executives say. But yeah, only you guys are gonna see this. So hey. So there's an executive over at a certain evil empire, Electronic Arts, who told my boss directly via they were talking because my boss, hey, can I get Need for Speed Most Wanted, not the one that Criterion made, but the older one from like 2000 and like I think it was like 06 or 07. I think it was right between the generations, right between PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, and then the following generation, early 360, early PS3. My boss is like, hey, can I get it? Can we get that printed again? And this guy goes, oh no, we only have the 2012. It's the same game, it just has different cars. And my boss tells me this, and I was just like, he said, what now? It's the same game, but with different cars? Two completely different developers. Most Wanted 2012, excellent game. Most Wanted, whatever, 2006, 2007. It was like the last vestiges of Need for Speed Underground, with all the modding, that type of, you know, that type of the modding street racer game rather than escaping the police game. They were both escaping the police games, but one was street racing and the other was, yeah, thank you, head slap. Yes, yes, James, head slap. This is the person in charge of selling games for them. He doesn't know the difference between the two Need for Speed Most Wanted games. The one that's the Criterion one, they have to put a Criterion game underneath it. In our system, it says Need for Speed 2012. And then the other Need for Speed, the old one with the freaking stylized writing. It was real great because we sold a used copy of the other Need for Speed. I'm like, hey boss, look, it's the other game. You know, it's just different cars. And he's like, he just shakes his head. He's like, some people are stupid. I'm like, yep. And my boss, he wants to make his secret Twitter account and be like, oh, there's an executive of a certain company. and one was Fast and... Thank you. One was Fast and the Furious inspired. That's what Need for Speed Underground was basically Fast and the Furious. And the other one was a good racing game made by a company that made good racing games. I love Criterion. I love me my old Burnout. The EA took away all my Burnout. I love Burnout. Burnout was like one of my favorites. They just keep remastering burnouts. Twitter burner account. Yeah, my boss, he wants to put all the dumb stuff that because he talks to these executives from Ubisoft and Sega and Take-Two and friggin' Square Enix, and like they say a lot of ridiculous things, and he doesn't want to put them on Front Street because then obviously he does deals with them. But he wants to secretly throw them under the bus. And I was like, boss, just let me do it. Let me do it. It'll be fun. I'll get in trouble and you won't, but then they'll trace me back to the job and then we'll lose that relationship with EA. Man, yeah, EA killed Criterion. That hurt my soul. that really did hurt. I think the last Criterion game must have been that Most Wanted. James, that's such a great comment. To be fair, he probably looks at Madden and it's the same game for 20 years. I mean, it's true. They're just used to their sports games. I mean, FIFA for the Switch has been the exact same game for the last 3 years. Ugh, all we get is Paradise. I don't even want Paradise. I remember I found a copy of Revenge for 360, and it brought me such joy when I popped in Revenge, because the last time I think I played Revenge was original Xbox, and then popping in that Revenge into my 360 and like playing that, I was like, oh, the sweet divine joy of causing other cars to crash. The only racing game I was ever good at was Burnout. because I was always good at hitting other cars, which is bad in Gran Turismo or your regular Need for Speed. Yeah, I refuse to pay for Paradise again. Same. I bought it on 360 and I'm not buying, like, I'll buy Resident Evil 4 again. Some Criterion folk got together. Oh, are you talking about dangerous driving? I've been wanting to buy that because my boss told me about that. I think you're talking Burnout, Takedown, Crash Mode only game. I think it's dangerous driving because we got some of those in. That one doesn't really sell very often. I think people don't know how good it is. All right. All right. I love sitting here and doing some game talk. I have to do this more often. Just sit down and just throw video game companies under the bus. Now I've learned so much more that I'm supposed to know. Oh, Criterion. Rest in peace, Criterion. We'll do something. I'm going to have more. As soon as after Christmas ends, I should theoretically have more time to do some game streaming. Maybe I'll pick up a copy of Dangerous Driving and stream that for y'all. And then maybe I'll give it away. I've been contemplating this. I've been trying to hustle up some money on the side so I can do this buy game, stream it, and then give it away to my loving audience. It'll be fun. Danger Zone, is that what it's called? Okay. Because I think that there was another one called Dangerous Driving. It's a game with a license plate falling off of it. But we've been at this for almost an hour. And that is, I promised the wife I will not go over an hour anymore. So I will have to bid you lovely people adieu. Make sure, follow me on Twitter. Definitely follow the Instagram right now. I've been having a lot of fun posting up all the weird shit we sell at work. I've been taking photos. My boss goes like, "What?" Well, my bosses they go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm posting some funny shit. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm posting funny shit. Whatever weird thing I see in the batches of what we sell, I'm like, I gotta take a photo. Gotta take a photo. If you've been checking the Instagram, there's been a Unicorn Princess and friggin' a Fantasy Star Online that doesn't work anymore unless you have like the dark internet. It's all kinds of wacky stuff I keep finding. I'm telling you, there's gonna be a post either tonight or tomorrow morning of some a wacky, isn't even a game. It's related to a game. You just you gotta see it. Some of you may have seen it before in your retail lives, but we have a lot of them. Then you'll see it. Well, actually, it wasn't that long ago. I want to say more, but I want you guys to go to the Instagram and find it when I post it tonight or tomorrow morning. It's really bad and really funny. Yeah, the Instagram it's been really bad. I posted a really ridiculous Barbie horse adventures for what system, sir? Because I think we can, dude. Jai, you don't understand. Barbie and her friend's Puppy Rescue is one of our best sellers on PlayStation 3 and the Wii. Barbie and her sister's Puppy Rescue, one of the best sellers that we have. It's insane. Like, my boss frequently likes to say, we only sell bad games. We don't sell good games. Copies of Final Fantasy X and X-2 and Final Fantasy 12, they just sit on the shelf. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, nobody's buying it. Chrono Trigger for the DS, only wholesalers buy it so they can rip off someone else in another country. Amazing, beautiful games like that. PS1, we have Final Fantasy Anthology, Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy Origins, sit on the shelf, gathering dust. Chrono Cross. Beautiful games. Some of my favorite games of all time. Gathered dust on the shelf of our warehouse. But old copies of Madden sell. We sold out of copies of Madden 09 for the Xbox 360. We sold out. We blew through like 300 of those this whole year. It's like insane. The people who buy video games are wild and weird, man. They're buying it on the internet. I will tell you guys more in the coming weeks. It's tragic. No, it is a tragedy. My boss says, no, we don't sell the good games. People don't buy good games on the internet. People only buy bad games. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep posting photos of the bad. Like, post-holiday, there might be less photos of the bad stuff. Madan 06. Oh, the special edition Madan 06. I can make that for you. Damon, you need a copy of Chrono Cross? I can get you one. Greatest hits, though. It's not Black Label. I don't know if you care about that. Well, I can make an arrangement. I can get you that copy of Chrono Cross for a reasonable price. Because you're talking to the sales manager of Video Game Wholesale, who's also the warehouse manager for an undetermined company. All right, so I got to wrap this up. Follow Instagram at DreGP Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at DreGP Podcast. Find us on YouTube. I'm finally posting up old episodes. My son's calling me. Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast on YouTube. Patreon. Be an awesome patron. Dre's Geek Philosophy. Patreon.com. Search for Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast. Join. Donate. And more things will happen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you guys next week after the holidays. Have a good night and have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever denomination, what? The Festivus for the rest of us. Happy Festivus. Chrismica. Any others I'm forgetting? Oh.
That's it.
That's it. Have a good night.